In late March of this year, Dualshockers, a prominent gaming journalism website, published an article titled, "I'd Love a Black Final Fantasy Character That Isn't Comedy Relief" by Jervon Perkins. This article sparked a fierce backlash across social media, with individuals from all walks of life condemning its shallow regard of prominent black characters in Final Fantasy, while ignoring the universality of the addressed archetypes. The piece, which singled out two of the franchise's beloved black characters, was swiftly sent to obscurity due to the overwhelming criticism it received. Jervon Perkins, who identifies himself beyond his own biology, seemed to have penned the article without any will to even pay attention to what he was writing about, beyond his racist beliefs, opting instead to focus on what he calls racial stereotypes within the franchise. This skin-deep insight cannot be further from the truth. The archetype he tries to criticize has and always will be a universal trope among compelling characters in storytelling, transcending the confines of skin color. I too was among those who joined the chorus of disapproval aimed at Dualshockers and Perkins. The article struck a chord with me, much like the recent misrepresentation of Master Chief in Paramount's Halo TV series. The Final Fantasy franchise holds a special place in my heart, particularly Final Fantasy VII. It was one of the first games I truly fell in love with as a very young gamer. Its narrative, characters, and timeless messages captivated audiences worldwide, spawning numerous spin-offs, as well as a recent reimagining of the original game that further elaborated and solidified its legacy. Given this, it's no wonder the backlash against Dualshockers was so vehement. For a journalist to fixate a timeless archetype like those mentioned to a skin color he shares with the characters is just sheer ignorance on his behalf, seeking to divide audiences, which is something all too common these days in the world of entertainment journalism. But rather than fixate on why he is so wrong, I want to make this video an homage to one of the most recognizable characters in the entire franchise, and praise the beauty and brilliance of the character I grew up with, after seeing him weaponized for an antagonistic outlook. The man with a gun for an arm, Barret Wallace. Born and raised in the humble town of Corel, Barret led a simple life alongside his best friend Dine, married to a beautiful woman named Myrn, and worked as a coal miner, the foundational industry for the small town. For generations, Corel was a prime source for coal energy, but it was becoming obsolete in the modern world. So when the Shinra Electric Power Company proposed building a Mako reactor near Corel, promising a cleaner energy source and job opportunities for the town, Barret and many others welcomed the change. Dine, on the other hand, couldn't agree with those who did. Even after Barret assured him of the good that would come of it, he still refused to let go of what their forefathers worked so hard to keep. And so, the town unanimously voted in favor of selling the mines in exchange for the Mako reactor. But tragedy struck when the reactor mysteriously exploded, decimating the efforts of a new source of Mako energy for Shinra. Blamed for the incident and accused of harboring those who committed the act, Corel was razed to the ground by Shinra forces, setting the homes on fire and murdering everyone who couldn't escape them. Barret and Dine were far from home at the time, and quickly returned when they saw immense smoke from the town. In the ensuing chaos, Barret and Dine were discovered, and while trying to escape Shinra troops, Barret was struck, slowing him down. Dine, in an attempt to save his friend, slipped off the cliff, but Barret caught his arm just in time. While struggling to pull him from what seemed like certain death, Shinra's troops opened fire upon them, utterly destroying Dine and Barret's arms as they held each other for dear life. With both their arms ripped apart by bullets, his best friend fell to the depths and into the shadows. With his mangled arm decimated beyond repair by Shinra forces, Barret finally found his way back to Corel, only to discover that Myrn, his wife, also perished in the catastrophe, leaving him to grapple with immense guilt and sorrow. But within the ashes of his hometown, he discovered Marlene, the infant daughter of Dine, still alive, a small but powerful blessing amidst the destruction of all that Barret knew and loved. With Marlene cradled in his only good arm and his other replaced with a Gatling gun, he found his way to Midgar, where he swore to stop Shinra's goals in taking Mako energy and using it for their own selfish gains and profit. Barret's subsequent journey, marked by loss, guilt, and redemption, epitomizes the depth of Final Fantasy VII's characters. His decision to adopt Dine's daughter and redeem himself by fighting against the largest corporation in the world showcases his compassion and sense of responsibility. Joining and quickly undertaking a leadership position within the resistance group Avalanche, Barret confronts Shinra's tyranny head-on, grappling with the consequences of his choices before and within Avalanche. But his past comes back to haunt him when Dine resurfaces. Consumed by grief and seeking revenge, he goes on a warpath against Shinra, killing anyone that stood in his way, even the most innocent. Their emotional confrontation culminates into a tragic event. In a desperate struggle, Dine, driven to madness by grief and rage, fires upon his old friend. To protect himself and his friends, Barret raises his weaponized arm against his childhood friend, ultimately stopping him in his tracks. And in Dine's last act, he curses his once beloved friend for his choices, and demands he continues carrying the guilt he had all this time. Dine's descent into madness mirrors Barret's own inner turmoil, and shows audiences the potential path Barret could have taken over the benevolent one he did take. Their emotional confrontation underscores Final Fantasy VII's thematic richness, highlighting Barret's complexity as a character. His evolution from a humble man to brash revolutionary, then to a reluctant leader, is a testament to his own growth and resilience. To dismiss Barret as a mere racial trope within the franchise is to overlook the profound impact he has on the narrative and the players. His unwavering commitment to justice, his love for Marlene, and his loyalty to his friends define him far more than his outward appearance. Barret Wallace isn't just a character, he's a symbol of compassion, strength, and growth. Throughout the game, Barret's journey is one of self-discovery and redemption. He grapples with his guilt over the destruction of Corel, the loss of his wife, his best friend, and the responsibility of raising Marlene. He is a man burdened by the decisions he's made in the past, and carries a shield of humor and optimism as a means to deflect his friends and family from taking pity on him, for what he sees was of his own making, a quality that many of us, no matter our skin color, can relate to. Yet, despite his guilt and inner turmoil, he remains steadfast in his determination to fight against Shinra's oppression. His leadership of Avalanche, though at times fraught with doubt, ultimately inspires hope and unity among his comrades, holding him in high regard, even when his choices led them to disaster or a certain death. I hope that journalists like Jervon Perkins can one day move beyond focusing on the need to see characters as he sees fit, and throw away his quest to divide audiences through his own beliefs, to recognize the depth and significance of characters like Barret Wallace beyond their skin color, something that fans, no matter their skin color, have always seen since his story was provided to us. For he embodies the very best of Final Fantasy: courage, sacrifice, love, and the enduring power of the human spirit. In a world rife with injustice, Barret stands as a beacon of strength against oppression, inspiring us to fight for what's right and to cherish the bonds that unite us. And just like countless others, he will remain immortalized as one of the most iconic video game characters in the gaming world.